Y'all, Stephen Moffat came for my ass so quick with that episode, oh my god. Sup homies? You see what I did there? Cause I did a Sherlock video. And I'm hip. I have been on a roll this week. And by that I mean I have read so many things. I didn't set out to do that, I mean it wasn't an intentional thing. In these past 2 weeks, I've probably read 500,000 words, I've read 4 books, I read some long ass fics online. Oh my god, so many words. You know when you just find a good book and you're all, damn, that's a good book. That's me today, and boy am I stoked about books. So I was thinking about the books I've read, and then I decided that I was going to share some of my favorite books or my favorite authors. Just a fair warning though, I have in no way a spectacular book palette of any kind, so who cares? Number 1. Believe it or not, my first favorite book, the book with which I taught myself to read, and my favorite bedtime story provider was the dictionary. Obviously, the extensive vocabulary I started out with didn't transfer over post-puberty. Fuck. But this dictionary in particular had the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence in the back, which you may have guessed provided many an hour of fun childhood entertainment. I was a great kid. There was a period of time where I carried a briefcase around with me. I'm pretty sure at one point I tried to audit my parents. That is not a lie. Number 2. Now this isn't a book specifically, but this is a funny little introduction I had to this specific author. In 3rd grade, we were to memorize a poem, and then we were supposed to recite it in front of the class. Everyone immediately went for Shel Silverstein, who, let's face it, was a hit amongst that demographic, but fuck that, I wasn't a fan. So I dug through the box of books we were allowed to look through, and what do you know? I chose something a little different. That's when I stumbled across an anthology of the works of Edgar Allan Poe, and I was immediately entranced by one poem that I just knew I had to perform in front of the class, and that was Eulalie. I chose Eulalie. I performed that in front of my peers. 4th grade was a weird year, and I remember disturbing my very Christian teacher with the plots of the novels I was reading. I was super into Stephen King. My favorite novel of his was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, and I had that on audiobook, and then my favorite miniseries was Rose Red. Again, a great kid. 4. This one should be self-explanatory. Carrie was and still is an incredibly huge influence in my life. In all seriousness, she said what we were all thinking. This book in particular is brutally honest. If you want an honest portrayal of family life or want to know what it's like to live with bipolar, you should really turn towards Carrie's works. Cinco. One of my favorite movies and plays as a child was The Importance of Being Earnest. Initially due to the fact that starting around age 10 I had a massive crush on Colin Firth. I still do. But I found myself so taken with one story in particular. Thankfully, I have a friend who is a master of this author, and I was then sent this book. The Picture of Dorian Gray instantly became my favorite book of all time. I just had to read more. Once I read this, I transitioned into his plays and then his essays and his poems. Oscar is one of those authors you either hate or you immediately fall in love with, the same way he fell in love with himself. I almost became a linguist because I was so entranced with Oscar's work. But now I just pretend like I make movies. I don't know, books have been on my mind lately. You know, I think I'm gonna start rereading the Sherlock Holmes stories, just to get my mind off of the hell that is gonna air tomorrow. I was gonna do a video on this past episode of Sherlock, but oh my god. How could I possibly ever speak about that ever? I don't want to talk about it. It's over, okay? Nope. But anyways, I was wondering if anybody else had any book recommendations because I am in one of those moods where all I want to do is read and I cannot decide for the life of me. So, if you have one, let me know. Please. I want to spend money on books and not concert tickets. Did I mention all I've bought this year is concert tickets? I've bought so many concert tickets, you guys. Oh god. Alright, I'm gonna go do laundry because I moved back to New York in a day and oh god. I haven't done laundry in a month. Toodaloo, kangaroo.